The 2026 Formula One revolution officially began behind the closed doors of Barcelona, marking not just a new set of rules but a show of force by the Mercedes W17 with its radical silver-to-black design. While the rest of the paddock was still grappling with the system integration of 350-kilowatt hybrid monsters, the Mercedes-AMG Petronas team delivered a flawless 56-lap masterclass on the Barcelona asphalt. The W17 is not just a car that complies with the 2026 regulations, it is an engineering marvel that has driven its rivals into a psychological collapse on day one, thanks to the hidden horsepower found by Brixworth engineers in the grey areas. When the response to the 1.118.35 lap by Hadjar on the leaked timing charts is combined with the fact that Mercedes has not yet fully unleashed its engine power, the echoes of the crushing 2014 dominance have begun to tremble the entire paddock. Kimi Antonelli's maturity at the wheel and the engine's controversial hot compression trick may have already determined the fate of the 2026 season. We share the paddock's deepest technical secrets and complex engineering data with you every week. If you're tired of surface-level gossip and are in love with the true technical spirit of Formula One, it's time to join the F1 Perspective Strategy Table. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because here we don't just talk about races, we decode the physics beneath the cars and the championship codes of the future. The data that shook the paddock the most on day one in Barcelona was not the lap times but the rock-solid reliability exhibited by the Mercedes W17. While many rival teams, specifically Audi and Alpine, spent hours in the garage due to the thermal loads generated by the new 350-kilowatt hybrid systems, the W17 never left the track for a full 56 laps. This was not just a reliability display, it was proof that Mercedes is at least 6 months ahead of its rivals in cooling, packaging and system integration. The fact that the Mercedes-powered Alpine also ran trouble-free laps shows how mature the engine department in Brixworth has made the 2026 unit. Mercedes appears to have brought a final version nearly ready for Melbourne instead of a prototype to Barcelona. These 56 laps allowed engineers to validate their wind tunnel correlation 100% on track. While rivals are still grappling with gearbox vibrations and battery overheating issues, George Russell and Kimi Antonelli have already begun long-run simulations. This suggests Mercedes could sweep up points with a reliability advantage in the first half of the season, extending the gap while rivals solve their teething issues. In 2026, reliability isn't just about finishing, it's about having the treasure trove of data needed to bring performance updates earlier. The real bombshell stirring the paddock and triggering illegal power allegations is the compression ratio trick in the W17's internal combustion engine. FIA rules fixed the compression ratio at 16.1 for 2026 and stipulated that the measurement be taken at ambient temperature. However, Brixworth engineers developed a brilliant method by bending the laws of physics in their favor. Allegedly, Mercedes used specialized ceramic and composite materials in the combustion chamber that measure exactly 16.1 when cold, but through thermal expansion at operating temperature, increase this ratio to levels near 18.1. This 2-unit increase grants the engine an extra 15 horsepower, providing a clear advantage against rivals at the end of straights. Ferrari and RBPT Ford officials have already filed an official protest, but the FIA stated that as long as the rule is met in static tests, this is legal. This hot compression advantage is proof of how well Mercedes read the grey areas in the 2026 regulations. While rivals try to gain this power by burning more fuel, Mercedes has obtained the grid's most efficient thermal engine by simply using physical expansion. This 15 HP ghost power is the primary reason why the W17 suffers from derating later than its rivals on the Barcelona straights. 19-year-old Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who took the wheel during Barcelona testing, performed less like a driver and more like an integral part of the W17's operating system. The 2026 cars place a massive cognitive load on the driver due to the 350 kilowatt electrical power and active aero transitions. Antonelli's telemetry data shows that he manages this complex energy management and manual override transitions more rapidly and consistently than even the paddock's most experienced drivers. Thousands of hours in the Mercedes simulator granted Antonelli perfect muscle memory for the 2026 driving style. The young talent confirmed the new Verstappen expectations in the Mercedes garage with the stability he showed while pushing the limits of the chassis in Barcelona's high G-turns 3 and 9. Antonelli's driving style fits the W17's delicate front-wing aerodynamics perfectly. He chooses to flow with the car rather than fight it. Under George Russell's leadership, Antonelli's raw speed makes Mercedes the most balanced and dangerous driver lineup for 2026. Following 56 laps on the Barcelona asphalt, Antonelli's comment that the car feels like an extension of my body is the ultimate proof that the W17 is a user-friendly technological masterpiece. The aerodynamic superiority of the W17 lies in the synchronization of its active wing systems X mode and Z mode, the most critical innovation of 2026. Leaked footage from Barcelona testing revealed that Mercedes used faster-responding electromechanical actuators to control front and rear wing flaps, unlike the hydraulic systems of its rivals. This system resets drag the very millisecond the driver hits the straight by switching to straight mode. But the real magic happens at corner entries. The W17 features specialized software that optimizes airflow reattachment to the wing surface during braking. This allows Antonelli and Russell to remain much more aggressive where rivals brake earlier out of stall fear. The W17 Sidepod design has completely moved past the 2022 zero-pod trauma. It's narrow but features deep undercut regions that inject airflow directly into the diffuser. Vortex generators on the floor adjust based on the active wing's positions, keeping downforce consistent throughout the lap. Mercedes doesn't just cut through the air, it makes it a dynamic part of the car, reshaping itself on every straight and in every corner. This intelligent aerodynamics makes the W17 one of the cars with the highest cornering speeds in the paddock. In a 2026 world where the MGU-H is gone, hybrid success depends entirely on battery efficiency and the management of the 350 kilowatt MGU-K unit. The Mercedes W17 proves Brixworth's 10-year leadership in hybrid technologies within seconds. The new power unit synchronizes the IC torque with electrical torque filling so seamlessly that drivers don't even feel the turbo lag. The fact that battery temperatures remained within ideal ranges during the 56 laps in Barcelona indicates that Mercedes developed a radical heat management system. New cooling fluids and battery cell chemistry developed with Petronas allow the W17 to harvest energy 15% faster than its rivals. This means Mercedes will still have attack mode available in the final laps of a race when everyone else's batteries are depleted. Furthermore, the carbon fiber areas beneath the Adidas-sponsored livery are optimized not just for weight saving, but also for dissipating heat faster. The W17's compact engine cover accelerates airflow over engine components, pushing thermal efficiency to the peak. In the 2026 engine wars, Mercedes stands out not just with horsepower, but as a battery beast that stores energy most intelligently and releases it at the most critical moment. The Mercedes W17 chassis is a masterpiece of minimalism within the shorter and narrower 2026 car structure. Every bolt and vein on the chassis was weighed with millimetric precision. The smooth lines we saw on the W17 chassis during Barcelona testing show how efficiently the aerodynamic wetted surfaces calculation was performed. The massive undercut region beneath the sidepods maximizes the car's ground effect by injecting air directly into the diffuser. The new nose structure controlling airflow at the front wheels modernized the outwash effect, directing turbulence onto rivals, unlike its competitors. The rear of the W17 narrows so much it creates an optical illusion as if the gearbox and suspension arms are floating in mid-air. This tight packaging philosophy is the strongest evidence that Mercedes aims for the top in 2026, not just with engine power, but with aerodynamic efficiency. Against the radical but risky chassis solutions of Ferrari and Red Bull, Mercedes presented a more refined design with an engineering guarantee. The fact that the car experienced no porpoising during the 56 laps in Barcelona proved how well the structural integrity and aerodynamic philosophy of the chassis were established. All the data, leaks and those flawless 56 laps in Barcelona point to one thing. The Mercedes W17 could be the most advanced and decoded car of the 2026 regulations. With Brixworth's controversial compression ratio edge, a 350 kilowatt hybrid unit, and perfectly synchronized active aero, the Silver Arrows look ready to dominate again. While Ferrari and Red Bull wrestle with risky concepts and internal issues, Mercedes stands out with a refined, powerful and reliable package. Barcelona was only a warm-up. The real statement will come in Bahrain and Melbourne. The question is clear. Can rivals stop the W17, and can Antonelli and Russell turn this technical weapon into a title? Let's break down this technical war together.